when it comes to success, I used to always think you have to sacrifice everything. You have to sacrifice what you like, you have to sacrifice time, you have to sacrifice everything. And sacrifice, it's kind of this there's a negative connotation that comes with the word sacrifice. When you think sacrifice, you think give up, you think kind of putting it on a break until the period is over. So when I think of sacrifice and how I used to think of success is I thought I had to cut off every single bad habit. And how I thought of it was in this period of my life, I need to sacrifice, I need to remove these bad habits for the time being. And sacrifice, it for me at least, and for a lot of people, my thought process was still it's only a break for a little while and then I'm gonna get back to it. Let me just get through this period of sacrifice and then I'll get back to it. But what I understand now is being in alignment with your dream self is really how we should think of it. Instead of sacrifice, because like I said, that comes with negative thoughts of you want it but you can't get it. And so this you're kind of fighting yourself when you're talking about this sacrifice. For a long time I was fighting myself because I would give up the weed, I would give up the alcohol, give up the sports, but my mind kept telling me that I want to do it, and my reason for not doing it was I just can't right now. I can't because I said I can't. I'm sacrificing. I'm cutting this out of my life. And because it was, I still deep down wanted to do these things and still was saying I was just kind of taking a break. It wasn't long before I, got back into them, before the temptation beat me. And it's because I was thinking about it as I'm cutting this off for now and maybe I'll enjoy it again in the future. But when you align, instead of sacrificing, when you align with your dream self and you just think whenever the sacrifice comes up, instead of the temptation comes up, instead of thinking you're sacrificing and you're missing out on it and you just can't do it right now, think of what would my dream version of myself do? What would the version that I want to become, what decision would he make in this situation? And so when you think of it that way, when you then do that, the action that your dream version would do, you're aligning with yourself. You're not making a sacrifice. You're not saying, I want to do this, I just can't right now. You're saying, I don't want to do this because the dream version of myself wouldn't make this decision. So this version, the sacrificing version, is you're missing out. You want to do it, but you just can't allow yourself to do it. So you're missing out and you're fighting yourself and there's battles going on in your head. Should you do it? Should you not? But when you align to the higher version of yourself, there's no fighting yourself. You say to yourself, I'm choosing to take control and do what's best for me. And that's the end of the story. There's no more, I want to do this, but I just can't. So smoking, for example, if you're sacrificing smoking the first day that you end the challenge or whatever it was, or you finish what you said you were going to do, you'll go right back into it. But if you're aligning with the higher version of yourself, you understand that may not serve you in any form. So you're happy with the decision you're making. You're not feeling like you're missing out. You're feeling like you're saying yes to the dream version. And every time you say yes to the dream version, it becomes more and more a reality. Be, do, have. You need to become the version first, and then you need to do the actions, and then you get what you want. So when you're just sacrificing everything for success, there may come a time, maybe once you get the money, maybe once you get whatever it is that you're looking for, you'll just fall back into your old ways because you were just putting them off for the moment. You were putting them off in order to get the prize or whatever. But when you are aligned in your vision, you're aligned in every aspect of your life, you're living in alignment, then you know the actions to be made. You ask yourself, what would the dream version of myself do? What would the future version of myself that I'm becoming, if I do the actions, what would that person do? And so then the difference is you're not missing out, but you're saying yes to the dream version of yourself. And like I said, the more you do that, the more you start to become that person. So, on the path to success, yes, you have to give up some things. Yes, you have to sacrifice, of course. But instead of thinking of it as a sacrifice, you can kind of play tricks on your mind. Instead of thinking of it as these sacrifices that you have to be made, find out who you want to be and then align your actions to that person. You find out who you want to be. You kind of know the roadmap to get there. You kind of know the daily habits you need to do. And so then you align yourself. You take yourself from this person you are now and you're putting it into a completely different person. Not you stay the same person and you're just putting off these old habits or these old actions to the side. You're aligning yourself. When you live in alignment, everything flows. When you're sacrificing everything, that's when you're fighting against yourself and you're creating friction and every move is kind of hard instead of when you're able to flow. When you're living in alignment, you're able to flow, and that's when you can just be. That's when you can just live without thinking and dominate. But when you're thinking you have to give up all these things, and that's the way you're telling your mind, no, I have to give them up. I'm taking a break right now. Then it's just it that works, but you're creating a little bit of friction. So live in alignment. Don't sacrifice, but become the version of yourself and follow the actions, and sooner or later you'll get there with ease, with flow, with fluidity. That's the goal. Live in alignment, baby.